Hello and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I am Mila Kunis, also known as Brienne, also known as Miss Movies. And guess what?
What?
Um, Today, Stacey Howard is away, and that is sad news.
Rude.
But when Stacey Howard is away, I like to bring on a little friend that I call Diana Van De Kamp.
Hey.
Hey, Diana.
I'm
Thanks
the
for
poor
joining me
man's Miss
today.
Movies.
You're the
Yeah.
poor man, Stacey Howard.
And the poor man's Stacey Howard.
I
Yeah.
guess you're both now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So what's up, poor man?
so Diana is on a show. It's called The Film Vault. Can you tell us a little bit about The Film Vault and yourself?
Sure. It's a fine show. You might have heard of it. You might have been on it even for a while. And they talk about movies, surprisingly, which seems to be a topic we all like to talk
We love
about.
to talk about movies. It's been going since 2000. For me, I was on that show in 2007.
Oh my god.
But it started I think in 2002. So it's been a long
It's a
time.
classic out there
It is a classic.
for movie lovers.
Oh man, I'm just checking to make sure that our stream is okay because our last episode,
Mhm.
the stream cut out, and
Wah, wah.
we didn't know until someone in the chat said, "Hey, the stream cut out," and then we had to start again. And that was
Oh,
sad.
that is sad.
That is sad.
They lost your like original brilliance.
They did.
Yeah.
So Diana, how did you start taking over my job on the Film Vault?
Well, first I slept with all the right people.
Okay.
No,
yes.
no, that did not happen. Just a million times kidding. But actually, sadly, I remember you had retired,
Mhm.
and one day I was out having a beer with Anderson, and kind of thought, what if I took over the bit because I liked the bit, frankly.
Yeah.
And so basically, I just usurped you. So
Okay.
that's how that happened.
The bit basically goes like this for those that don't know. I used to do the Film Vault, and I did that from 2007 to 2014.
And she was amazing.
I
And it still is. Holy cow. Holy cow. I did not mean to.
You were great. But what the bit is it's called Red Light, Green Light, where you pitch movies to the other two gentlemen, Anderson and Brian, play executives
Mhm.
and so or pretend
Like
to be
execs,
executives and
yeah.
decide like based on the information given, what would I red light or green light this film? And basically like knowing what I know now and taking hosting classes and things like that and being more in front of the camera, I know so much more now that I think that I listened to those and I'm like, I know what I was doing wrong.
Oh,
Like I can figure that
nothing?
out.
You were doing nothing wrong?
No, but I just know like how I would have done it better. But I'm like, oh well, that's that, now I have something else that I'm doing, so that's how that goes.
Yeah. And you're wonderful at all of it.
Thank you. You're wonderful at what you do as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have not taken any hosting classes or anything along those lines.
Yeah.
So again, poor man's Miss Movies.
All right. All right. So here's how 6 Degrees of Feature Film works. What we do is we take one film and we show how 6 other films link up to that film in any way, crazy shape or form. Today, our feature film is Bad Moms, which came out July 29th, 2016.
It's fresh.
It's very fresh. Is it fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, though?
Not so
Not
much.
sure. Could be close. I bet it has pretty good ratings.
I actually recall the Rotten Tomatoes rating being like a little less than I would have actually given it. Like I liked it.
What would you give it if you in the perfect world of Rotten Tomatoes, what would you rank this?
56%.
Okay. And it's probably lower than that is what you're saying.
I feel like I remember something around the 40s, but yeah, don't.
Okay. Let me bump up your
look
mic
it up real
just a
easily,
second.
so I'm just being super lazy.
There we go. You know what? It's hard when you have a live show to look up certain
fair
things
enough.
because then you're taking it away from the audience.
Yes.
And I don't want to
Touche.
do that to the audience.
Yes.
So
And audience, if you
if
go ahead
you
and look
guys
it
want to
up.
chime in and let us know in the chat, you are welcome to let us know the Rotten Tomatoes score for Bad Moms. This is about 3 overworked and underappreciated moms
Mhm.
that are pushed beyond their limits. They ditch their conventional responsibilities for a jolt of long overdue freedom, fun, and comedic self indulgence. This is directed and written by John Lucas and Scott Moore. I was a little surprised that it was written and directed by 2 men. But at the same time, I think they did really well at tapping into women and moms
Yeah.
specifically. There was one part of the movie that I felt really like It was like a picture. It's like they were looking into my home.
Oh, really? What
Um,
scene? What scene?
okay, it has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Thank you, the
Oh,
Ohio review.
I'm the worst. Thank you.
Um, so not certified fresh, but
Okay.
close.
Close.
So there's one part where Mila Kunis is coming into the house and she is carrying all these things, all these
Mhm.
bags, and all her
Oh.
husband just looks at her and goes, "You're just like a Sherpa." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh." He doesn't get up to help her or
Nope.
anything. I was like,
Ever.
"This is my
Ever.
house." I come in and I'm carrying tons of bags. No one, no one bothers to come up and like help. But you know what? That's life. That's just how it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of interesting discussing this with you because you are an actual mom
Yes.
and married and all of that jazz, and I am a single gal,
Single gal.
sans children and husband.
Mhm.
And yeah, there were parts to this I obviously couldn't relate to, but I just felt very sorry that moms are experiencing, I'm sure, some of the things that were portrayed. Because yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of
Whew.
truth to this movie. There's a lot of parts that are eccentric, I will say,
Probably.
over
And
the top.
it's a movie. You gotta
Yes,
heighten the
of course.
stakes.
So this is starring Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, Catherine Hahn, Jay Hernandez, Jada Pinkett Smith, Christina Applegate. So we got a lot of great people there.
Mhm.
I think Christina Applegate does a great job of
Oh,
being the PTA head of the
splendid.
PTA.
I loved her. I loved to hate her. I loved to like her. We just
Mhm.
went on a roller coaster of magic there. And that
Because when you have someone that's like at the top of the food chain,
mhm.
such as the PTA mom
Mhm.
that's like intimidates everyone, it's kind of like in Mean Girls where you want Regina George to like you
Yeah.
or have some sort of interaction with you and you don't know why. And you're like, but she's a horrible person.
Emotions are confusing
They
for
are.
sure.
Why do we want these people to like us and accept us when they are just jerks?
Is the PTA like that at all?
I don't know because
Okay.
here's the thing. Um, People have tried to get me into the PTA. I
Okay.
have a membership to the PTA, but I do not go to the like you buy it to go in,
Do
so
you
that way you can like get the kids for field trips. It's kind of like a donation.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
donation
Okay.
to the
I'm
school
on the
to the
trolley.
yeah. So I they've tried to recruit me to do things and I was like, I'm not going to volunteer. I'm sorry. I was a teacher for 5 years.
You've given your
I've
service.
been with children. I don't want to be with them because I've done it and I don't have a desire to help in that
Sorry, Waverly
capacity.
and Ryan. She's over
I
it. Yeah.
just it's just hard. I'll do some other stuff
Yeah.
like if you need money, take my money, don't call me.
Just
Take
throw
my money, lose my number.
just throw money at the problem. Yeah.
That's right. Let's just do that. And if I ever feel like there's a real need, like
Uh-huh.
then I will.
Okay.
Sure, I'd do something.
Okay.
But
If there's like a PTA emergency, like a bake sale or something like
sure, I will bake something. Has to be gluten
gluten
free,
free,
dairy free, fun free,
fun free,
all
absolutely.
free, free of everything.
Mhm.
This budget was 20 million and it made 179.3 million at the box
Well done.
office. It was originally set up with Paramount Pictures with Leslie Mann to star, and Judd Apatow was attached
Hmm.
to produce. I listen. The one person I don't like in film is Judd Apatow, and I'm sure he's a lovely person
Oh, as like an actor or
as a
as
director,
okay.
producer slash writer.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of his.
Okay.
I want to be a fan of his. I want to like his
You
movies.
don't
This is
have
the
to
hard
like
part.
everything.
I
Yeah.
know this is the hard part because I go into a Judd Apatow movie and I was like, I seen the trailer. I think it looks great. I
Mhm.
want to like this film. So I go in with that positive attitude of I want to like this film.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I don't know if there's one that I've actually liked.
Really? 40-year-old virgin?
Didn't like it.
Really? Oh, I kind of like that one.
So that's fine. Like I understand that people like it. I
Mhm.
get it. I don't know why I don't like his films and it makes me sad. Like I want to like
Yeah,
his films.
but that's
I
okay.
haven't seen Trainwreck because I'm
Oh,
worried that I'm going to go in with the same idea of I
okay.
want to like this and then I didn't like it. You know
I,
what I'm saying?
sure. I enjoyed parts of Trainwreck, but what really got me for Trainwreck, they definitely had one of those like lovable dance sequences.
Okay.
And
That
you can
helps.
win me in any movie if you just throw in a lovable dance sequence, and I'm in. You
Silver
know,
Linings Playbook.
in
Got to do it.
Dirty Dancing,
Well, yes.
super in.
Well, that already has dancing in the title with Silver Linings Playbook. You didn't know
It's
you
a
were going to
big
get
surprise.
that. That was a
Wow. Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. Okay.
I love dance sequences in film, except oh, okay, I'm not going to go with a negative. Never mind. I'm not
Okay.
going to
All
tell
right.
you.
All right.
I've I've talked
Maybe
about it before. A movie that I don't like that it has a dance sequence that people bring up every time we talk about dance
they're
sequences.
not always a perfect like, but scene. But I just, I love
Hmm.
dance.
I know
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Okay.
Um, this movie inspired a spin-off movie that's coming out in
Ooh.
2017, which you could do on Red Light Green Light,
Ooh.
called Bad Dads.
Ooh. Interesting.
And I'm just kind of like, great. Do we need to do that? Like, from a feminist point of view, if we're gonna go that route, I'm kind of like, we have to go with the women, but now we got to go with the men. I'm like, typical,
Yeah.
like, typical Hollywood.
It's not an
But
inspired choice, but I'm a little
sure,
curious to see what they come up with.
I'm sure I will see it. I'm sure I will like it.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, okay, thanks
Do you
Hollywood.
think Jeff will? Do you think Jeff will relate to it at all? Sort of
Oh
like you
God,
had moments of relating.
maybe.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I wonder if it's going to be the same people writing and directing and stuff like that.
It'll be interesting to see nonetheless. Okay, who was your favorite bad mom?
Hmm, I probably related most to Mila Kunis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the one I mean, Catherine Hahn is hard to relate to. I don't know if I know anyone like that
No, but she's
character in
just
life.
fun.
She's
Yeah.
fun. Yes. Kristen Bell, I could see kind of
Mm-hmm.
because she's at a different point of like her oldest kid is now uh in elementary school and the rest of them are all at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Yeah, Mila Kunis's character, but I don't have the aspect of my husband like leaving
Yeah.
halfway through the
Yeah.
movie, so
That guy
or
was.
being upset with him or things like that. So
Yeah, that guy was the worst.
he was the worst to start with.
I didn't really understand like their dynamic. She said, I think at one point she argued that he was like a good guy at one point, but
Hmm.
I just didn't see it. I did not see the attraction of
Yeah.
why they were together since they were 20.
Well, because I think she got pregnant before they got married,
But
right? So
why
she
would
was
you even hit that? That guy is not likable.
well, maybe when he was in high school, he was like the cool kid, right? Like he was the
Maybe.
most popular guy. She was the most
Huh.
popular girl.
Maybe.
That's kind of
Okay.
how it happens. Jack and Diane. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, so there you go. Bad moms.
Okay. Bad moms. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked
Any
it.
other thing?
I loved Kristen Bell in it. She's just the ambassador of adorable, I thought. I didn't really relate to any of the characters a ton.
Hmm. Well,
Um,
yeah.
so
But you still saw it.
and I had a good time.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot. My favorite was actually the scene at the end, like during the credits. Do you remember what I'm talking about
I don't know if I
at all?
stayed. You know what? When I went, it was like a Wednesday morning
Mm-hmm.
at like 10 a.m. I was the only female, and there were like three other dudes all
That's
by themselves.
unique and kind of creepy.
And they were all different ages too. It was like
Hmm.
old man in his like 70s, and
Hmm.
then some guy in his 30s,
Okay. So
and maybe someone in their 40s or 50s. And I was like, this is so
yeah,
strange.
that does not seem like the audience I would expect for that.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well,
I would get the hell out of there too once
mhm.
it was over if I were you. I get it. I get where you're coming from. But at the very end, which I highly recommend if you do see the movie, there's this cool thing they do at the credits, and I
Mhm,
love it when they do this sort of like clever thing during the credits because
mhm.
no offense, credits are boring. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, so they did this thing where they interviewed all of the stars'
Oh,
real
right. Okay.
moms,
Yes, I did stay
and I
for
thought that
this.
was super sweet and just kind of a
That was
really
cute.
nice little touch.
Mhm.
So yeah, I recommend just almost that was my favorite part because it was just organic and cute and
Because you
real.
like when people are real,
Yeah, it's
which is
nice.
why there's a huge thing for hosts right now because hosts are real and people want real people on screen that they can relate to.
Well, look,
So
well,
here
if you're
we
looking
are.
for hosts, right, you got it, baby.
Anyways, let's move on.
Let's.
So let's do our link.
Okay.
Our link today. So we started with Bad Moms. We're going to link it to movies with like a variation of mom in the
Hmm.
title. So there you
Yep.
go. Movies with a
Nailed it.
variation of mom in the title. Um, there aren't that many actually.
I know. I
If
was.
you
Yeah.
because I was gonna do movie link tweets and I was like, this is really not gonna work.
Hmm.
So we didn't do movie link tweets today because which is what we do at the end of the show where I say, what is your favorite? I take the first link and say, what is your favorite, Western or whatever. But this one was like, what is your favorite movie with the word mom in the title, and it just doesn't work. Like
Mhm.
it's just too
There's like
difficult.
Mommy Dearest, which seems
Yeah,
too
well,
obvious, and we don't need to talk about that.
yeah, we're gonna start with Baby Mama, which
Let's.
came
That's
out
much funnier than Mommy
much
Dearest.
funnier, which came out April 25th, 2008. A successful single businesswoman who dreams of having a baby discovers she is infertile and hires a working class woman to be her unlikely surrogate. Directed and written by Michael McCullers and starring Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Dax Shepard, who's Kristen Bell's husband,
Mhm.
Greg Kinnear, and Sigourney Weaver, as well as Steve Martin. The budget for this was 30 million. It made 64.2 million at the box office, so not a very big, like, not a lot going back in their pocket,
They could have
but
done
they
worse
made their money
though.
back
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this in theaters 2008. I was not pregnant at the time. Probably wasn't even thinking about pregnancy at the time.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it was ridiculous that she was baby proofing her house before the baby was even like
Yeah.
conceived,
Yeah.
because no one would do that.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, if you know someone that has done that, I want to know who they are.
I have questions.
I might want to meet them
Mhm.
someday.
Oh, like almost as a scientific kind of study.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that?
Mm-hmm. I hear ya. But also, it seemed as if Amy Poehler was very childlike herself. So maybe,
Mhm.
in a way, she was child-proofing her home
Well,
for
she wasn't the one
Angie.
child proofing. It
No,
was Tina.
no, it was
Fey's
Tina, but like
character.
she
Yeah.
was child-proofing for Angie's.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
because yeah,
Yeah, she was a little
Angie was
crazy.
very childish. Yeah, but
She
sick
was.
fashion sense. Oh, I loved her clothes.
I didn't like that there was like a twist in this movie. I kind of was hoping it would just play out like kind of straight. Like,
Yeah.
all right, we got this, we got that. Here's the ending.
Yep.
Here's the baby. Oh, yay.
I mean,
Everyone's in love.
with the two of them, you don't really need a twist because they're
You
just
don't.
delightful. You know, I love those ladies.
Randall Sands says that his cousin also baby proofed before the baby arrived. Like,
Really?
here's what I want to know, Randall. I
Uh-huh.
want to know how far in advance that happened.
Yes.
Because some people might think, oh, I need a baby proof before the baby gets here, like a week before.
Mhm.
Okay, sure.
Seems reasonable.
But babies don't like move around in any shape or form until they're like 8 months. And kind of
Really?
like start crawl. So, you know,
Okay.
anywhere from 6 to 8 months is when they start crawling. So you really don't need to. 6 months before, Randall, that's a little bit, that's a little crazy. Okay.
Wow.
But you know what? No judgment. No
Some
judgment.
people really like to prepare.
They do,
Mhm.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
No judgment.
It's
We're
in-
just curious.
no judgment, actually.
Okay.
So, anyways, what else would you like to tell us about Baby Mama
Okay.
that you find interesting?
All right. I maybe again, this is sort of a recurring problem that I was having with the characters.
Mhm.
Sort of linking back to Bad Moms. Why were Amy Poehler and Dax Shepard together? I get that they were both quirky and like offbeat,
Mhm.
but like they did not seem to have a healthy or good relationship at all.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
they were a little nuts.
I just needed to like see something as to what drew these two
Together, because
wonderful
you have to have
weirdos.
what? You have to have like the
Ju-
yin and the yang, and they're both the yang or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
It's like
like
too much of
it's like
crazy.
putting two like positives together on a battery. You can't
Yes.
do that.
What
Like,
a good analogy.
Doesn't work.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just wasn't quite clear on that. I didn't, and maybe I just missed this. I didn't. So Greg Kinnear's character,
Yes.
who's Tina Fey's love interest. Spoiler alert. So he was a lawyer and he stopped practicing law to be a juicer. What? Why? What? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Again, no judgment.
Okay, listen.
Just curious.
Here's the thing. It's just like I stopped teaching to make no money and do an internet show.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, because we all
on
know
the
the
other
big bucks are in teaching.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of that coin, like I have the luxury to do that because my husband, you know, is the provider for my family. So that's a little
He
different.
just makes it
too.
rain.
But it also relieves a ton of stress
Okay.
because this is what I do. And, you know, that's all I have to focus on aside from this and my children.
That seems like plenty.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot.
It's it seems like a lot
when you
actually.
like look behind the scenes.
Seems like
So I
plenty.
think maybe he just wanted to have less stress in his
Okay.
life and
All right.
was like, you know what? I really like juicing. So why don't I do that? Why don't I just juice?
Maybe I just don't juice enough, so I'm not getting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
I'll try juicing a little more.
Just like in Baby Boom, when she like stops
Loved that
working
movie.
to be with the baby and make applesauce.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was really
Yeah.
into the applesauce.
So there you
That
go.
seemed calming. Juicing to me doesn't seem like calming. It seems aggressive and there's so much blending and noise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There is. That's how he works out the stress. That's his
I,
stress ball.
that's a good point. All right, thanks, Brian. You actually helped me kind of
Work through
solve that. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Maybe.
We
Maybe
worked
I
we
did.
worked through the problem there. But okay. Do you remember the scene where Greg Kinnear comes over, like he kind of surprises Tina Fey for a date, and Angie, Amy Poehler's character, answers the door, and she just starts lying and like lying to him, and then lying
Mhm.
some more, sprinkled with some more lies, and it just I I found that scene so incredibly stressful. I reacted. I was literally sweating while watching it because I was just so concerned with how Tina Fey was going to work her way out of all of these lies and how Greg
Mhm.
Kinnear was going to deal with all of these lies that he was
Okay.
just spitting at her. Like, were you as upset by that? Like,
I
that
don't
was,
remember that
oh
scene.
my God,
But
so much.
I get like being stressed out about certain things at
Mhm.
certain times for sure.
Maybe I took
Like,
that to heart a little too much.
maybe, but
Yeah.
you know what? I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Okay.
So,
I freshly saw
okay.
this.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Mhm.
But yeah, the scene with all the lying made me very angry, and Greg Kinnear really seemed to recover from all those lies, like quite a
Yeah.
gentleman, like quite a trooper.
Hmm.
Anyway, I was just impressed and
Because
nervous
he
by
knows
that.
that she's crazy, right?
I think he
Or did he
eventually
not know at
gets
that time?
there,
Okay.
but at the time, I think he's accepting what she is saying as
Hmm.
the truth, and probably is horrified when he realizes that
Yeah.
none of it is really, other than what she says her name is Angela, and that's about the
Okay.
most truthful thing she says.
She's
But it's actually they call her Angie.
well,
So
Angie, Angela, tomato,
yeah,
tomato.
yeah, I'm being a little
Let's
picky.
close up
Okay,
Baby Mama.
okay.
And let's get to a film that we both first watched for the first time a few days ago.
Oh, so good.
This is another film. We went from Bad Moms, then we went to movies with mom in the title. Baby Mama is the first one. The second one is Good Night Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
This was released September 11th, 2015. It's about twin boys who move to a new home with their mother after she has face changing cosmetic surgery. But under her bandages is someone the children don't recognize. This is on Netflix, right? Oh, wait, no. This is on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
Amazon Prime.
for $0, you can watch this. I always like to preface it that way.
Yeah, free is good.
Free is not a word I use
Oh,
because you have to have Amazon
that's
Prime.
good point.
Just like with Netflix, I wouldn't say, "Oh, it's streaming for free on Netflix." I'd say it's streaming on Netflix, right? You got to
I
have the
say that
service.
all the time.
But it's so hard. It's hard to like
Yeah,
train your brain.
you're right.
So I really recommend seeing this film, and I'm going to do the best that I can, and we're going to try to do the best that we can, not to spoil anything in this because it's a film that needs to be seen. This is
Mhm.
a foreign language film out of Austria. It's a horror film, and yeah, I think it was. I want to say this one was submitted. It was submitted for Oscar contention. Like Austria sent this off as like we're gonna put this into the Oscars and maybe we'll get recognized,
Mhm.
but they weren't nominated.
They should have been.
They should have been. They auditioned 240 sets of twins
Whoa,
to be the main roles in this movie.
that sounds so creepy. Like
That
what?
does sound
So
creepy.
creepy.
But
Sorry,
they
twins.
wanted the twins to look so much alike.
Mhm.
I think that was one part of it. Like you have
And they
to
nailed
really
it.
look alike. And yes, it is. I really want to get into it, but I also
It's dangerous territory.
it is.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I find this about foreign horror movies, and I'm
Mhm.
curious if you do as well.
Okay.
It seems like their pacing is so very different than American horror movies, and I actually kind of appreciate that because you really watch something unfold, and
Yes.
they really develop the characters, like, I think really thoroughly.
It is a slow burn.
Absolutely, but I was engaged the entire time, and I feel like if
Mhm.
you tried to make this and like or like adapt it to like an American audience, it would just not work because I find that we need a much faster pace and quicker edits and have a shorter attention span.
And more gore,
Yo,
more
yeah,
more
more.
torture.
Mhm.
Um yeah. Oh man. There's so many good moments to this movie. The
Mhm.
twins are really what make this movie work. And those boys are
They're
phenomenal.
very good.
I hope that there's like an Oscars in Austria, and I
Me
hope
too.
that they are winning all the
Yeah, I
awards
hope so.
because they are incredible.
They killed it.
There's one part I do want to talk about. So a mild spoiler: there is a part where the Red Cross comes to
Mhm.
their house and just walks in their house, and I was
Oh,
like, is that what happens?
it,
Is that what happens in like foreign countries?
and they're
People
like
just walk in your
in the
house?
middle of the country. Yeah, I found that really disturbing. And I mean, they were so aggressive. Is
Right.
the Red Cross that aggressive? And I mean, if anybody
In
is less,
general. I
yeah,
want to know the portrayal of the Red Cross.
they,
Was the portrayal of the Red Cross authentic?
yeah,
Do they do that?
do they do that?
Do
Or
people walk into your house?
yeah, and I mean, who knows in Europe? You know, like who knows? It could be no holds barred. They really, really want to get their
Mhm.
donations. I don't know. I feel like that would not quite be allowed here.
Mhm.
Like if a Red Cross, you know, member was like in my house all of a sudden without me opening the door to them, I would call the
Mhm.
police
Yes.
immediately. Even if they were not in there for nefarious reasons.
Did you expect the third act to play out like it did in this film? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let
I
me just
saw
say
it
something.
coming.
Let me say something really quick. Diana has seen 800 movies this year. Is that
Close,
correct?
close. 792. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a problem.
You'll breach 800. What is your goal?
1,000. I want to
Okay.
get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and hopefully I'll make it, but I'm getting a little nervous.
That's a lot
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
And what made you decide that you were going to watch 1,000 films in 1 year?
Um Basically because Greg from Cinematics, another
Mhm.
fine podcast, said he was going to get to 1,000 movies by the end of the year.
Okay.
And for some reason, I'm just a really competitive person and decided, oh, I'm going to beat you to 1,000
That's like
movies.
3 a day.
Often more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's like
Okay.
another job, but I love it and I love movies, so it's a great job.
Now, why haven't you been tweeting more about this? Like each film that you watch,
I've
so that way we can join you on this journey.
I've tweeted a little
Okay.
about it, but yeah, sometimes I'm just watching something like almost so terrible I don't quite want to admit it publicly.
Mhm.
Like I've seen a lot
Sure.
of really bad movies. But occasionally I'll sort of tweet what I'm watching and people will tweet back, and please feel free to tweet me with any suggestions. I've got 207 films to watch in the next 2 months, so
Oh dear.
I need help.
That's an
Yeah.
amazing. I still haven't finished all of my Stallone movies. I'm
Oh,
hoping that maybe I can get close.
he's a delight.
I've definitely seen some great ones and some terrible ones.
Hmm.
But you had not seen Goodnight Mommy before this,
Oh,
so
thank you for introducing me to that, Brienne.
and
I
I didn't even. I
loved
just
it.
knew it was a horror film. It had the word "mommy" in it. It was one that I wanted to see, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
It's very different,
Did you
and
see it coming? The plot twist?
there's a reveal that happens that I wasn't
Hmm.
prepared for, and then that made me have more questions about the motives and everything that had happened. It made me go back and
Yeah.
then say, okay, wait.
And they don't answer
They
everything for
don't.
you. And I kind of like that. How do you feel about that?
There are times when I like that
Hmm.
because I have more questions,
Yeah.
does the totem fall at the end? There are times when I don't like that and I
Okay.
want it answered for me
Okay.
because then I don't have to think about it.
Thinking is hard. Yeah. Yeah.
But Good Night Mommy, let's close that up because it's so hard to talk about without spoiling anything. And
Just
I
see
think
it.
you should see it. It's something to see. It's interesting and
So creepy.
Oh man.
Mm.
One of the things I did before this movie just to prepare was I did look at the keywords, which I've done before on
Mhm.
horror films,
Was one of them
because
birth control?
I think one of them was
Oh
actually.
my god. Oh, I was
So
kidding.
I think one of them was, but if you are apprehensive about seeing a film and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, check out the keywords because that will help you decide. Because there are ones that I'm like, nope, not gonna see that. When there was eye slitting in some movie, and I was like, nope, I will
Oh,
not be seeing eye slitting,
I'm
so
into that
I'm gonna
one.
skip this. All right, you can tweet at me and ask me what that movie is if you would like to know,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to reveal it here. So, anyways, just in case you want to see that film and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know that.
Oh,
All right, so there we are. We have
okay.
our first three films. Would you like to go first and link off of? So we went from Baby Mama, we went to movies with mom in the title with, or no, we went from Bad Moms, then movies with mom in the title with Baby Mama, as well as Good Night Mommy. And now, would you like to go off of Baby Mama?
I actually would not. I
Okay.
really want to hear where you go from
Okay,
Good Night
from Goodnight
Mommy,
Mommy, here's
but
what
I'm
I.
prepared.
All right. From Goodnight Mommy, I did movies with twins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yay, movies with twins.
Okay.
So that makes it easy.
Okay.
We're starting with my one of my favorite films of all time, which
Twins?
is no,
Oh.
which is The Parent Trap. The original Parent
I'm
Trap,
so
not the Lindsay
excited you're
Lohan
talking
one.
about
This
this.
came out June 21st, 1961. This is a movie that I hope to maybe talk about more on this podcast another day because I love
It's
this
so
movie.
good.
I love everything about it. This is about teenage twin sisters who swap places and scheme to reunite their divorced parents. Directed by David Swift and written by Eric Kastner, who did the book, and David Swift did the screenplay, starring Haley Mills, Maureen O'Hara, Brian Keith, and the songs were written by Richard and Robert Sherman. So hey, Richard and Robert Sherman, I love you
Yes.
guys. The box office, it made 25.1 million. I don't know what the budget was for this movie.
Probably not that.
And it was nominated for 2 Oscars for Best Sound and Best Film Editing. It lost both of those to West Side Story.
Oh,
No big surprise there. Um,
seems fair. But the
so
songs are brilliant.
they are. I love that this was like a trick photography. So Haley Mills plays both
Mhm.
characters, and like they did it very seamlessly. Like if you look at it now, it holds up pretty well.
Oh, does it? Oh,
It
I'm so
does.
glad.
I mean, it's not perfect, but
Mhm.
it holds up. And there was a girl, Susan Henning, who she was the body double for Haley Mills. And so she signed her rights away to be credited. So she's not
Hmm.
credited in the movie
Hmm.
because, they said, we want it to seem authentic.
Mhm.
So we don't want your name in here. And she said, okay. And at the wrap party, Walt Disney presented her with a small statue of Donald Duck called the Duckster in recognition of the best unseen performance on film.
Aw.
To her credit, she went on to later star with Elvis Presley in a movie, so good for her.
I want to
Good
know
for
more about
her.
this Duckster.
There's
That's
like
so
two people that
cool.
have a Duckster, her and someone else, and I forget who the other person is.
What
So
a cool fun
I
fact you
apologize.
found.
I know,
Awesome.
right?
Well done. Kiss your brain.
Hey. Mwah, mwah. And yeah, I guess the original screenplay only called for like a few trick shots, and then Walt Disney had seen it in the dailies and was like, "That's really good. We need to do more." So then
Mhm.
they wrote in more trick shots for it. And I love the camp that they go
Oh, I
to.
want to go to that camp.
I think the plot is completely ridiculous. I don't know anyone that would split up twins like, oh, I'm going to give birth to 2 kids. You know what? I'll just live the rest of my life pretending the other one never existed.
Mhm.
You live your life pretending the other one never existed. And we'll just go on like that. I just think that's terrible. But I like it for the story.
Well, maybe we need to like read the book to really get the parents' dilemma there because I've never quite understood that one either. But yeah, even in the modern one, I
It
didn't
just
quite
that
buy
wouldn't
it.
work, and everyone has to buy into that. Like the
Mhm.
grandparents have to buy into it.
Mhm.
Like I don't see Sharon McKendrick's. First of all, I know too much about this film. I know their whole names. I know their birthday is November 12th. It's coming up.
Wow.
I know too much about this film.
Is
So
this your Dirty Dancing? Almost.
it could be.
Okay.
It's it's up there. It's up
Okay.
there of a movie that I know a lot about and really enjoy. Um, so yeah, it.
All right.
I don't. I love the opening credits with Annette Funicello singing
Oh,
and
Annette.
Tommy Sands. Anyways,
It
I
just
love this
it just
movie.
seemed like a simpler, like lovelier time, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I enjoyed it
Maureen
too.
O'Hara, just the
Mm.
elegance that she brings
Oh,
in every single scene.
I
And
love her.
I love Brian Keith. There was a time I remember, I very distinctly remember like seeing The Parent Trap, and then like a few weeks later, I remember seeing him in like a TV movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's the dad
Mm.
from Parent Trap, and he's old. Like
Oh,
he's not young anymore." And my mom was like, "That movie was in the '60s, and it's the '80s now, so nope, he's not young anymore." I'm like,
that
it's
must have been a
sad.
tough hit.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like, oh, people get old.
Aw, it's
But I do
rude.
like seeing Haley Mills in Say by the Bell,
Oh,
the middle school years,
oh,
you
what?
know.
Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to be called, and then they changed
Changed
it to
it to
be about Zach.
yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
love Haley Mills. She reminded me of Julie Andrews in a way. Like
Hmm.
they should have got together and done a movie at some point. As a
Yeah,
missed opportunity, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I agree. So there you have it, The Parent Trap. The other one that I brought is Big Business. Has twins in it, not actual twins.
Get out of
Also,
town.
also trick photography.
Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler.
Yay,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I cannot wait. Tell me
Okay,
everything.
okay. So this was June 10th, 1988. Um, here's the plot of Big Business, because I feel like people maybe haven't seen this
It was an
film.
interesting time
I
in
love this.
America.
I love this movie. I have this movie on DVD. Okay, I also have Parent Trap. What
You're
do you
my
know?
hero.
Here's the synopsis, which I'm going to read off. It's a little bit long.
Okay.
In the 1940s, in a small town of Jupiter Hollow, two sets of identical twins are born in the same hospital on the same night. One set to a poor local family, and the other to a rich family just passing through. The dizzy nurse on duty accidentally mixes the twins, unbeknownst
See?
to the parents. Our story flashes forward to the 1980s, where the mismatched set of twins are about to cross paths following a big business deal to close down the Jupiter Hollow factory.
Hmm.
So, Sadie and Rose are the characters played by Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. So, Bette Midler's character of Sadie is, the Sadies are supposed to be the rich ones
Mhm.
that are supposed to be together. They're both called Sadie,
Mhm.
which I love, which you have to do because then like it gets, the comedy comes later
Yep.
when you the mistaken identities. And then the Roses are Lily Tomlin, and I wonder if they did that because her name's Lily. And
Oh.
and you know that they're supposed to be originally with the Jupiter
Mhm.
Hollow poor family. And the dynamic though, because they are switched, is so great. It's just hilarious in all the mismatch that happens. My favorite character is probably the Sadie that's starts in Jupiter Hollow,
Uh-huh.
because she's like, I just want to go to the city, and
Oh, right.
I want to sing and all that fun stuff.
This is a real walk down memory lane for me because I probably have not seen this since 1988, but
Okay,
I
okay.
just love the bejesus out of Bette
Hmm.
and Lily. So it was, I mean, I don't think it did great at the box office as I recall, but I
Hmm.
still had a good
Yeah.
time.
Its budget was 20 million and made 40 million at the box office.
Oh,
So it
I know
didn't.
nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah.
Well, but you have to do at least double your budget to
Yeah.
actually
Make
like make your money
yeah.
back. So
For some reason
it's not really a big
wasn't a
hit.
hit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Box office wise.
tell me more.
Okay. Tell you more. This is what originally was written for Barbara Streisand and
Oh.
Goldie Hawn, which actually could be really great as well. I would love to
Huh.
see that too.
Hmm.
I want to see that movie, guys.
I'm okay. No offense to any Barbara lovers out there because I love her too, but I have questions about her comedic ability a little bit. I mean,
Really?
yeah. I mean, Bet and Lily seem to be seasoned comedians, and I mean,
Sure.
Babs definitely has a little funny in her bones, but I don't
Right. It might not have
know.
been the same story.
Yeah.
This also includes a role from a young Seth Green.
Oh,
It's a really small role. He's like he's
I love
Sadie's
him.
son.
He's been in the game for such a long time. Like, I'm just so impressed with his
Yes.
career. Yeah. One day we could be doing a show like 6 Degrees of Seth Green, because
We could.
that kid gets around.
should invite him on.
Meant lovingly. Yeah, of course. Seth, if you're out there,
Come on for the
Miss
show about
Movies.
you.
Yeah, right? Anyway,
Where we
sorry.
talk all movies, Seth
All yeah,
Green, all the
robot chicken,
time.
everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, a little off topic there.
That's okay. Um, let's see. It says just before the cameras rolled on each of her Rose Sheldon scenes, actress comedian Lily Tomlin would spin around in a circle several times until she got dizzy in order to exhibit the airheaded qualities of this character.
Wow.
I can see that. That makes sense.
Wow.
That
That's
makes sense.
impressive.
I do like though that like each set of twins, there's one kind of that doesn't get it and one that's like really like, no, we got to do this. I think that that's kind of interesting.
It's a fun dynamic
It
for
is.
sure. Yeah.
And it's the opposite. It's not like the two Roses are like, oh yeah, we're the go-getters. It's
Right.
like there's one Sadie that's the go-getter and one Rose that's the go-getter, and they're not together. And they aren't meant to be together.
I think it's a kind of necessary dichotomy for the film, you know. I think it keeps that plot just moving along.
It sure does. And moving right along, the last thing I want to tell you about this, the structure of the film was loosely based on the Comedy of Errors by William Shakespeare. So thank you, William Shakespeare, for everything that you've done.
I am absolutely going to revisit this movie because I'm a big Shakespeare geek, and normally I feel like I'm clever when I'm watching. Thank you. Sometimes when I'm watching movies, I'm like, oh, this is Shakespeare's this. But in 1988, I don't think I had the wherewithal to put that together. So I'm excited to go back and put those puzzle pieces together. So thank you so much for the inspiration.
You're welcome.
That's probably going to be 793 right there. Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks.
All right, let's get on to your movies.
Okay.
So I did twins, movies with twins, and I did The Parent Trap and Big Business. And now we're going off of Baby Mama.
Yep, we're going off of Baby Mama. And in Baby Mama, Steve Martin was Tina Fey's boss, who sort of owned
like Whole
this.
Foods.
Yeah, it was like kind of a Whole Foods-ish place. And he had sort of a fun character in that, and I love him to bits. So I decided to spin off on Steve Martin films.
Okay, great.
Okay, and both of them happen to be. I think he was in the writing process of both of the films that I'm spinning off. So double whammy, go Steve Martin. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be spinning off is one of my favorite films of all time, 1991's LA Story.
Yes, LA Story.
Oh,
I think I own this movie as well.
Me too.
And now, does this movie like resonate with us because we know LA? Because like if people who don't know LA, are they gonna be like,
You know what? That's a good question for the listeners, actually. So definitely tweet at us if you are not from LA. How did you react?
Feel about it?
How do you feel about LA Story? But this was the breakdown, which I kind of liked about it. Let's see. It was pitched as a response to New York Stories in 1989, which I didn't see, but I will see now.
Is that a Woody Allen?
I think it is. I think it is a Woody Allen. And shame on me for not doing more homework.
That's okay.
But it was they call it an American satirical romantic fantasy comedy drama. Like, that's a lot. They're throwing a lot of cross genres at you.
There is a lot in there. And I was like, fantasy, but then I was like, oh yeah, the billboard like talks to him.
Oh yeah, and there's like
so that makes sense.
There's this one love scene where
Milky Way.
By all means, when Steve Martin and Victoria Tennant are kind of like falling in love with each other, and there are these like John Woo doves floating around and this sort of weird neon scene, but it was a little odd, but I was in. They sort of had some avant-garde aspects to it, but I completely sold, and I just sort of loved the exaggerations, and some of the exaggerations I think are like the LA freeway scene with the gun.
Open season. It's open season on the LA freeway.
It's still mildly relevant.
I think of that sometimes when I'm stuck in traffic.
Yeah, it almost makes traffic hilarious.
It does.
And gunplay hilarious. So that's
gunplay.
Yeah, that's kind of rare. Something else that kind of stuck out to me in this movie is I remember really enjoying the music in it, and I went back and watched it, and the music is still just lovely. They used a couple of Enya songs, and
I remember Enya. Did they do like some big band?
Yeah, I think there was kind of some big band, and they did this French version of Beyond the Sea, which was just lovely. La Mer.
Beyond the Sea is like one of my favorite.
Oh, that song just like lulls you off. Oh, God bless you, Bobby Darin. You're a good man. And let's see, in 2008, LA Story was voted by a group of LA Times writers and editors as one of the 20th best films set in LA in the last 25 years.
Very specific.
I
Very
mean,
specific.
for me, it would have been number one, but
Mhm.
whatever, to each their own.
I love Sarah Jessica Parker, young Sarah Jessica Parker in this film. She's very cute.
She's very cute, and her
Mhm.
character could have easily been super annoying.
But she wasn't.
No, she was just super lovable and delightful. I don't know if I fully bought the dynamic between her and Steve Martin, but like they were just both
Yeah.
so fun to watch.
I don't buy the dynamic between Steve Martin and most people, but okay.
Really? Wait a minute. What? Okay, I kind of bought it with him and Mary Lou Henner. Like I kind of got their
I
relationship.
think maybe age wise, because like
Maybe it's
Shop
the age
Girl
thing.
with
Ooh,
Claire Danes.
I was uncomfortable. And
I just was like, I don't know. I don't know.
and I love both of those actors so much, but yeah, as romantic interests together,
Mhm.
I didn't feel comfortable. Anyway, besides the point, that was written by Steve Martin and it was directed by Mick Jackson, who has a really interesting like repertoire. He's done this movie. He's
Mhm.
also done The Bodyguard. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Wait for it. Volcano.
Oh.
Volcano. And
not,
then
not Joe versus the volcano.
no, just straight up volcano. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also he did the Temple Grandin movie.
Well,
So I
okay.
mean,
Okay.
what? Wow! Like
He's got range.
he's
got range.
Absolutely, great way to put it. Great way to put it. So yeah, this movie.
I'd be like, is there a paycheck? All right, I'll do it. That would be me.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be too picky either. But this was definitely my favorite of all the films he's directed. It's I think just quirky enough, but at the same time, I think has like the right amount of heart. And yeah, I loved it, loved it, loved it.
It's good. But I still want to know like other people outside of Los Angeles. What do you think of that film? So
Yeah.
let me know.
Oh, and the funny part is, Steve Martin. He plays Horace Telemacher, who's a wacky weatherman. And at one point, he like pre-tapes the weather in LA because we have no weather in LA. And then
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sunny in 72.
Yeah.
Sunny in 72. Sunny in 72.
And then ironically, there's like this massive rainstorm out of nowhere, which was also very satisfying to watch right now because we are in a massive drought.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Quick sidebar story. We used to belong to this country club, and I would see. I think it was Dallas Rains.
Oh, you're
all the
fancy.
time.
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
see Dallas Rains, and I thought it was so funny because some guy was talking to him one day, and it was like, "So what's the weather gonna be like?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up right now! You did not just ask him about the weather." Only because I think that's so faux pas to like ask someone about the weather who's a weatherman. Like, I get it. You're on TV. I'd be like, I am not working right now.
Was this in La Cañada?
This was somewhere there.
Yes. I knew his son in high school. He was a good egg. Anyway, poor Dallas. And someone was asking, what is the volcano in LA? It's just called Volcano. Just solo volcano. That's a fun watch, actually. Not a brilliant film by any means, but a fun watch.
Is that one that you watched this year?
No, I think I watched it last year, although I may rewatch it. I just found out that you can rewatch movies. Greg says that is allowed. The movie the movie guru says it's allowed. So I may rewatch Volcano.
It does say a volcano erupts in downtown LA.
Oh, in downtown LA.
Threatening to destroy the city.
Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
That came out in 97, starring Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Heche. Gabby Hoffman, I missed her. Don Cheadle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot about Cheadle in that one. Wow, that's one I do need to revisit for sure.
So there you go.
Yeah, so check it out if you need
That's hilarious.
a giggle. Yeah.
I might check that out.
It's a film that exists.
What is the other Steve Martin?
Okay, the other Steve Martin is a movie I actually just recently saw. And it's been discussed for years. I can't believe I've just seen it, but The Three Amigos.
I have not watched that in a long time. Long time. We have not talked about it on the show.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought like it was kind of an uninspired choice, but
no, remind me why? Why are they doing this? Is my question.
That's a fine question.
Okay.
So The Three Amigos are sort of a band of actors, and they've made a lot of films for a certain studio, and I guess one of their films has flopped, and so they go back to the studio making sort of some wild demands, and the studio exec, played by Joe Mantiglia. I always say his name wrong. Joe Mantigliano, whatever. That guy. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so they get kicked out of the studio by him, and then they just randomly at that exact time get a letter from the small town of Santa Poco. And Santa Poco needs some help because they've got a villain named El
Mm.
Guapo. And El Guapo
Yes, El
is
Guapo.
trying to take over the fine small town of Santa Poco. And so Santa Poco sees the three amigos in a movie and think they're
Mhm.
real and write them a letter to basically like, come save our town, we'll give you
Mhm.
money. And so they do, but they think it's a movie offer. So it's great, kind of a great mistaken identity movie.
Yes.
Very fun, and it's kind of fun.
Chevy Chase.
Yep, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
Mhm.
And let's see, it was ranked number 79 on Bravo's list of 100 funniest movies.
Wow.
And it was written, interestingly enough, by Steve Martin,
Mhm.
Lorne Michaels, but
Okay.
this is the weird one, Randy Newman.
Huh.
Right?
Did he write some music for
I'm pretty
it?
sure he
Or
did. I feel like he
Huh.
was responsible for My
That's
Little
interesting.
Buttercup, which is a song they perform often.
My
Little buttercup
has
has
the
the sweetest
sweetest
smile.
smile.
Oh, she nailed it, of course. And the choreography is brilliant. It's watching
Mhm.
Martin Short dance is just a good time.
Anytime he's
Mm.
dancing.
Anyway, the film is just super fun. It's fun watching these like kind of diva actors go to Santa Poco, and sort of the town falls in love with them a little bit, and then the reveal when they figure out that this is not a movie and this is actually a real thing. There's this very, very funny crying scene amongst the men, which just warmed the cockles of my heart. It's just a good time, people. Like, I kept reading reviews
Mhm.
about it, and there were a lot of reviews saying like it was really thin on the plot, but who cares? Like, it's Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short being hilarious. You don't even need a plot. Like,
Yeah.
it was just a good time, people. Like, just go in for a good time.
Star Drew just put up one of my favorite quotes, which is not from Three Amigos, but it is from the jerk. Who's putting bullets in these cans? Like, what's wrong with these cans?
I did think about doing the jerk too. So yeah, it was a real conundrum. Yeah,
So thank you for that laugh.
a fun Steve Martin conundrum. Love that guy.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Let's go back through our movies. So we started with Bad Moms. We
Mhm.
linked that to movies with mom in the title and
Mhm.
went with Baby Mama, as well as Goodnight Mommy. Off of Goodnight Mommy, I did movies with twins and did The Parent Trap from 1961, as well as Big Business
Mhm.
from 1988. And off of Baby Mama, you did movies with Steve Martin,
Mhm.
and you did The Three Amigos
An LA
and
Story.
LA Story.
All of
Awesome. I love it.
these movies I recommend, actually. Like,
Yeah.
I really had a good time watching all of them. This was fun
Mhm.
homework, and she's helping me get to my 1,000 movies. So thank you, Miss Movies.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you're doing 1,000. You're insane.
I'm a crazy
But I
person.
think it's great. I want you to get there. I hope you get there. I hope you get there before Greg.
Me too. I will.
We are doing something different, so we're not going to do movie link tweets because I tried to do like movies with mom in the title, and that just there's not much that comes from
Mhm.
that. So I thought that's not really gonna give us a lot of gravitas to work with. But we will link it to Kevin Bacon.
Mhm.
So Kevin Bacon was in Super with Liv Tyler, who was in Reign Over Me with Jada Pinkett Smith, who was in Bad Moms.
Well
So there
done.
you go. There could have been like a quicker link, but I couldn't find one. So
And you
there it
challenge
is.
yourself a little bit. So I like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And I've
There
never
you
heard
go.
of either of those movies. So maybe I'll throw those on the list too, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Reign Over Me I haven't heard of. I mean, Super I've heard of. I haven't seen it. But Reign Over Me I've never heard of. So
Also, I have to
I'll check that
apologize
out.
to the audience because I cannot do a Sylvester Stallone impression to save
We're
my
not going to be
life.
doing a Sylvester Stallone impression today.
I feel like I'm disappointing everybody. I feel like I'm disappointing
Well, you're not
the spirit
required
of
to do it just
Stacy.
because you're here
Oh,
as a
Stacy,
co-host.
I'm sorry. Like, you're so talented. That's like my favorite thing ever. I would like you to read me bedtime stories as Sylvester Stallone. That was creepy. But yeah, so just apologize to the audience.
I'm sure the audience is okay. They'll get their Stacy fix another time.
Okay. She's such a rock star. I love her. She does such good impressions and she can sing. Did you like listen to her singing Annie last?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
she's very talented.
She does have talent. We miss you,
We miss you,
Stacy. But
Stacy.
we love you. And
Yeah.
we're so thankful that Diana is here to warm your seat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yes. And a friend just said, Diana, you are never a disappointment.
Oh, that's so nice of you. You're the bee's knees.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that closes it up for this episode of 6 Degrees of Feature Film Podcast. We'll see you next time. Next time, I believe Stacy will be here and we will be doing war films, I think.
Awesome. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait
So,
to
yeah.
hear her Sylvester Stallone war film. Oh, I'm so excited.
I haven't decided on which feature film we're going to do for that, but we're going to do all war films. We did an all war film episode around the 4th of July, so we'll do it again.
There's so many to choose from. How exciting.
So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Diana. Where can they find you?
Thanks for having me. You can find me on Twitter. Please feel free to tweet any film suggestions at me. I'm at Film Fatal. D Van De Kamp 30 is my handle. I don't know why I did that. Anyway,
you can change it if you want.
I can't. Like it's.
I know.
Yeah,
it's you.
I get sentimental about that kind of silly stuff. Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for having me. I always love seeing you.
I love seeing you, and thank you for making the drive. And you can find me trying to fit in a personal training session right before this recording, and then trying to rush into this recording.
Spoiler
just for
alert,
everyone.
She looks amazing.
Thanks. And you can also find me on Twitter at Miss Movies. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.